Good evening, dear friends, and welcome to our weekly online event, Diving into Dhamma live Q&A with Bhante Sumitta. I'm your host, Delani Gunasekara, and I'm truly excited to be here with all of you today. Every Friday at 6 p.m. PST and Saturday 6:30 a.m. IST, we gather here on the Dhamma USA YouTube channel to engage in enlightening discussions and Q&A sessions with the esteemed Bhante Sumitta. So please mark your calendars for every Friday at 6 p.m. PST and be ready to tune in to these insightful sessions with Bhante Sumitta, who holds a PhD in this subject matter, because the wisdom that he imparts is a guiding light for us all on our spiritual journey. And without further ado, let's invite Bhante to the studio. Dalawan Saranay.
Hello, Sammā, how are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Okay. So I was right now we don't have any questions, but I will ask some questions of my own. Maybe we should start something basic. Maybe about 1 second.
Yeah, I think especially today we need to think of many people who are actually interested in learning about Buddhism, especially people here. They want to know many things about Buddhism. They are very enthusiastic, and sometimes even in traditional Buddhist countries, they don't know sometimes how to apply Buddhism into real life. So I think we can take that into consideration um, for more practical purpose, and also how to cope up with their real life situations with the Buddha, with the Buddha Dhamma. And yeah, we can help in our capacity through the suttas.
So our first question is very simple. What is Samma Ditthi?
Yeah, I know it does look simple, but it's not that simple. um, Samma Diṭṭhi is right views. So Samma Diṭṭhi is something that we always need to have when we work with the Dhamma. We know one of the 8 factors in Buddhism is Samma Diṭṭhi, right? One of the Noble Eightfold Path. And that actually is the beginning of the path. And Samma Diṭṭhi is a very important part, in fact. Why it is so important? Because it gives us the very tool that we need in our life when we want to practice Buddhism. We need to know what we do. So we have Sila Samadhi Panya. It is that the morality is the very basic of our spiritual path. Then Samadhi is the concentration. In order to achieve Samadhi, we need to have Sila, or the morality, or the virtues, or the precepts. And when we think of it, Samadhi, when we become calm, bodily and mentally calm, it provides us a beautiful, powerful opportunity for us to, take things, think of certain things more peacefully. We can take decisions very clearly because we are not clogged in our mind. For example, when we stressed up, when we are panic, and when we are upset or sad or angry, and then it is hard for us to take a decision. Our mind is very upset and not really calm and concentrated. So that is why samadhi is important in order to go to the next stage of our spiritual path, that is panya or wisdom. So sila samadhi panya is the gradual path according to that. And then we know in Noble Eightfold Path, it starts with actually panya. That's very interesting. Why it starts with panya? Samma Diṭṭhi and Samma Sankappa, they belong to panya or wisdom category. We need panya even though it is the last step. We need that Samma Diṭṭhi or right view in order to practice the rest of the factors. Without right view, you can't really measure, you can really identify, recognize our true path. That is why it is said, Samma Diṭṭhi is like our navigation. It really clears the way. It makes things easier for us. And so Samma Diṭṭhi is explained in the noble, Satya Vibhanga Sutta, little more clearly. And Dhamma Chakkapavatana Sutta is the first sutta that we hear of this word Samma Diṭṭhi. Samma Diṭṭhi is just a name there, and we don't have much of a difference. I mean, a lot of information is not there. So Samma Diṭṭhi is popularly explained as to realize or to know the truth, noble truth of suffering, the cause of suffering, and the cessation of suffering, and the path leading to the cessation of suffering. So literally the Four Noble Truths. We need to know about the Four Noble Truths. So how we really apply this thing in real life situations. I think one of the most powerful suttas that we have is Samma Diṭṭhi Sutta. Samma Diṭṭhi Sutta is a really nice sutta. It is Majjhima Nikaya 9, and Venerable Sariputta is the one who explained this thing. Venerable Sariputta is known to be a very versatile person, a monk who was foremost among the wise monks. So his wisdom is very sharp, and he is able to explain things very clearly. And many a times Buddha has invited Venerable Sariputta to take over sometimes to continue the teachings. In this sutta, we have many things. 16 steps are explained actually about Samma Diṭṭhi, right view, how to generate right view. I think if we generate right view, we do have more opportunity to practice the Dhamma. We have more opportunity to realize the Dhamma, to attain the Magga the path and fruition. So Samma Diṭṭhi can be a really important thing, and we all need to work towards that, Samma Diṭṭhi. So in this sutta it is said, skillful and unskillful. When a disciple of the Noble Ones discerns what is unskillful, discerns the root of what is unskillful, discerns what is skillful, and discerns the root of what is skillful, it is to that extent that he is a person of right view. One whose view is made straight, who is endowed with verified confidence in the Dhamma, and who has arrived at this true Dhamma. So if you want to know more about this, you need to know what is skillful and what is unskillful. Again, Samma Diṭṭhi is important for that. If you don't know what is skillful and what is unskillful, then you might make a lot of mistakes. You will get lost. That is what happened to many of us. We are not sure what is true. We are not sure what is the true path, what is the right way, and that way we actually make a lot of mistakes. So the root cause is in this category. It is explained all the 10 unwholesome deeds and 10 wholesome deeds, like dasa kusala and dasa akusala. And so through the speech, through the body, and through the mind, we generate some unwholesome karma and wholesome karma. Unwholesome karma, we have to, when we generate unwholesome karma, like killing, stealing, and sexual misconduct, and then the verbal misuse, like the verbal misdeeds, misbehaviors like musavada, pisunavacha, parusavacha, sampapunapa, like telling lies, and then using harsh words, and then slandering, and also like frivolous speech or gossiping. All these things are generating unwholesome karma. And then through the mind, we have also abhijja, like the greed, hatred, and delusion. And these things we have to get rid of when we work with the Dhamma. And so that is the unwholesome, and the wholesome is to abstain from these things. And then in the sutta, it is also mentioned nutriment, ahara. I think this is a really important teaching. The point here is when we take food, we can also think of the food as a source of originating or source of generating Samma Diṭṭhi. Very beautiful, because we all love food. A lot of people really have a strong craving for food. And then this part is also very important. If we pay a bit more attention to that, we can probably attain, we can probably generate, open our Dhamma eye. So nutriment. What would there be another, like in the sutta it is said, when a disciple of the noble ones discerns nutriment, the origination of nutriment, the cessation of nutriment, and the way of practice leading to the cessation of nutriment, then he is a person of right view. See, already here the Four Noble Truths I explained with regard to the food. In the previous occasion, it was explained with regard to the wholesome and unwholesome actions. And so this way we can generate right view. The root cause of nutriment is again greed. We have craving for food, and that is why people want to have more food, more diverse food from one restaurant to another. That's why people want to go, and um, they get a lot of uh, stress afterwards. And the other one is actually stress, so the so dukkha. And what is dukkha? The birth is suffering and stressful, and aging is stressful, death is stressful, sorrow, lamentation, pain, distress, despair, they are also stressful. Not getting what one wants is stressful. In short, the five living entities are stressful. And when we, um, when the disciple of the noble one discerns the stress, the origination of stress, the cessation of stress, and the way of escaping the cessation of stress, then he is the person of right view. See, the Dhamma path is actually in that way very clear. We just need to apply that in our day-to-day life. Craving for sensuality, craving for becoming, craving for non-becoming. These are the root cause and origination of stress. And then we can get rid of that, and we can generate right view. The other teaching here in the sutta is aging and death. So when somebody grows older, that person also should be able to um, recognize it, observe it, realize the right view, generate the right view. Aging is a real good way actually. Whenever we go to the mirror to look at our own form, I think it's a wonderful way. Look how you are changing your face, your wrinkles, and your hair, the gray hair, and your eyes, every single detail you are microscopically observing when you are in front of the mirror. And if you apply a little bit of Dhamma, aging can generate a powerful sense of right view. And when a disciple of the Noble Ones discerns aging and death, the origination of the aging and death, the cessation of aging and death, and the way of practice leading to the cessation of aging and death, then he is a person of right view. See, that way also one can generate right view. And same thing with the death. Death is a really very terrifying experience, and we don't want to think. Many people don't want to think of death, but if we apply a little bit of Dhamma, we can make sure that our death is more peaceful than ever before, and we are more comfortable or more prepared to face death, and that way we can also actually um, generate right view. Another one is birth. Birth again, and then becoming, and then clinging, and craving, and feeling, contact, and six sense media, and name and form, consciousness, fabrication, ignorance, and fermentation. All these are the 16 ways, 16 steps that one can actually uh, generate the Samma Diṭṭhi. So when you think of this Samma Diṭṭhi, it really can help us um, to make sure our view, our spiritual path is good. I always try to say like how the navigation helps us when we are in the going along the freeways, right, highways, and how it shows us whenever there is something like an accident or something, when the traffic is heavy, and it warns us, it gives us a lot of information, and that way we can smoothly reach to our destination just like that. It gives us a lot of bypass sometimes. Okay, you should not go this, you take this road, you can save like 2 minutes, 5 minutes. It calculates. Similarly, the right view or samadhi can help us in so many different ways in our life. So I think we all need to think of it very seriously. Samadhi, what is samadhi? And if we can enhance our samadhi, the most beautiful thing that we can achieve is we can crack open the Dhamma Sotapanna. Why do I say that? It's a way to actually attain Sotapanna, because the hindrances for Sotapanna are Sakkaya Ditthi, right? We think this body is I, me, myself, right? And self-identity is there. So when you have samadhi, you can easily get rid of that. Okay. And then vichikicca, all time doubts, and you're not clear what is true, what is false, and what is the way, and whether there was a past birth, whether there will be future birth, whether there was Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, Paticca Samuppada, lots and lots of confusion. And that is why we have vichikicca. So another debacle, another hindrance for us to attain Sotapanna. And the other one, Sakkaya Ditthi Vicikicca. The other one is Silabbata Paramasa. All kinds of rituals, rites and rituals. People try thinking that they can attain liberation. Sometimes you see, like even among Buddhist people, lots and lots of rituals, and they think this is beautiful. Outside, very nice. Lot of people are happy, and they are like kind of a festival, and it looks like a wonderful way to attain Nibbana. But this could well be a what do you call Silabbata Paramasa in disguise. So I think Samma is really important, very very important when we are thinking of seriously about our spiritual path.
That was a very insightful explanation about Sammaditthi, but I think it's something that we all need to really dive deeper into because even though, like you said, this question may seem very simple, it has a lot more depth into it. I think this will definitely benefit a lot of the community and even to myself because I think for the longest time I didn't know what was Sammaditthi and how to explain it, but I think I can also get some inspiration from this.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you very much. We have another question. Can you explain about the seven factors of enlightenment and how can we apply the teachings to our lives in a practical method?
Hmm. So, seven factors of enlightenment are mentioned in three Bojjhanga Suttas. Um, one time when the Venerable Mahakassapa was sick, the Blessed One went to him and it is said Venerable Mahakassapa was really sick. And so the Buddha explained to him the seven factors of enlightenment, Sattabojjhanga. And then Venerable Moggallana. These are all very powerful monks already. Like Venerable Mahakassapa was a forest monk, and he was a very committed, very sincere, very powerful monk, in fact. And also he was the leader of the Sangha when the Buddha passed away. So he is not a simple monk. And then Venerable Moggallana was also not a simple monk. He was really a powerful monk. He was the foremost among the supernatural powers. Immediately after the Buddha, he was the foremost among them. We heard about him, how he was taming Nandopananda. Uh, that sutta talks about how he was fighting the dragon, the powerful snake called Nandopananda. And he was doing a lot of things. He was able to go to the heavenly realms, he was able to go to the hell realms, and he was able to interview those people, those sentient beings, devas and other hell beings, and then he interviewed them. What happened to you? Why your body is like this, and what karma you did before? Um, like when you are like a deva, a powerful celestial being, what happened to you? And then he explained. They explained actually. And then the other one is also um, when he went to the lower realms and he met those those sentient beings who were really suffering, and he asked them. Some of them actually could be interviewed. They are, of course, maybe around us too. And Venerable Moggallana could interview them. What happened? Why your body is so stinky? And why your belly is so big and your throat is so small like a needle? And however much you try to eat, you can never appease your hunger. And what happened whenever you go to the river, the water is, water turns fire. And what happens? What bad karma you did? So it was interesting. Like those celestial beings and those hell beings, actually they could also remember their past karma. We humans can't. We don't know what we did. We can only assume. So conjecture. But those sentient beings could do that. And Venerable Moggallana came back and then he explained. So he was such a powerful, mighty monk. And what I mean to say that he got sick. He was even a powerful arahant, a liberated one, enlightened one. Still he was sick. And then the Buddha went to him, and it is said the Buddha explained to him the Tattva Bhujanga Dhammas. So very interesting suttas. And then in the end of it, he was able to recover from his suffering. And one time, even the Buddha was sick. Even the Buddha was sick. And then Venerable Mahachunda went to Venerable, the Blessed One, and then the Buddha asked him to explain or recite the seven factors of enlightenment, Sattabhojanga. Very interesting. And in all these suttas, I noticed that even the Buddha went to Venerable Mahakassapa and Venerable Moggallana after practicing meditation. He went to Samadhi first. And in Samadhi, he probably saw his wonderful disciple is not feeling well. So he wanted to help them. Such an incredible leadership. As an exemplary leader, the Buddha went to them. And same thing happened when the Venerable Moggallana was sick. One time when the Buddha was sick, Venerable Mahachunda also went to the Buddha. He also practiced meditation. He went to Samadhi, he went to jhanas. And probably he noticed that the Buddha was sick. And then, with due respect, he approached, and then the Buddha asked him to preach the seven factors of enlightenment. Okay, what are those seven factors of enlightenment? In the sutta, it is mentioned Sati Sambodhanga, Dhamma Virya Sati, Dhamma Vicaya, Virya, Piti, Passaddhi, Samadhi, Upekka. These are the seven factors of enlightenment. Sati is the mindfulness, right? So how it becomes a factor of enlightenment? Definitely, if like in the Satipatthana Sutta, it is said, Satima. Sati is the key. Mindfulness is the key. Without mindfulness, you can practice, right? Even in our day-to-day life, we have to be mindful, and that sati is a really important factor. And then Dhamma Vicaya is the investigation into the Dhamma. Like Dhamma is a very complicated word. It's a multi-meaningful word. Um, but the Dhamma in the nature, what we see in the nature, what we see in the world, the phenomena can be the Dhamma. So in this case, so we need to be able to investigate things. Like let's say you are upset, you are sad, you are angry, many things happen to you. Can you analyze it? Can you investigate? Can you go deep into the fathom of it? And then eventually see the root cause of it. And then hopefully you can get rid of that. And that's how you analyze them, you investigate them. And virya, you need to make some effort. Virya is explained as what do you call, chattaro sammapadana, like four kinds of efforts. Whenever we have something unwholesome within us, we need to make an effort to get rid of it. Okay, We already have one unwholesome habit maybe in us. So we need to make an effort to get rid of it. It doesn't go away just like that. No matter how much you stay in the samsara longer, it doesn't go away like that. And then there are some, maybe some other people around. I don't have that unwholesome habit, but the other people have. I should be careful not to allow those unwholesome habits to come into me. That is the other effort. Then we also have, we can see other people having wonderful qualities. Some people are very generous, some people are very kind, some people are very organized. All these beautiful qualities, positive qualities are there in some people, right? So uh, we need to inculcate them into our own life. That is another effort. Last one is, you already recognize you have some positive qualities, wholesome qualities within you. Duran, you also have. Every one of us have some wonderful qualities. So, okay, so thinking of that, okay, I'm very kind, I'm very generous, I'm very caring, and I'm not selfish. You might say that. But you should not take it for granted, and don't be complacent. Try to make it more, try to improve it, try to develop it more. That is the kind of virya or the effort that we need to make. And so these are the fourfold efforts. Some chattaro samma pradana. That's also part of the Noble Eightfold Path actually. And so these are really helpful. And then virya, piti is the rapture, the joy. When you practice all these things, you can gain a happiness, a contentment, a rapture, a joy that can be unprecedented. Something that you can really buy. It should be there when you practice, when you realize certain things. For example, I got it. You know, I got what is Samma Diṭṭhi. I know, okay, how to deal with my suffering. I know exactly how to navigate uh, when I am in deep trouble. So you see, the kind of happiness that you gain is truly remarkable. Same thing when you practice generosity, for example, when you offer something to someone, the kind of rapture, the kind of pity that you gain is incredible. Okay, so these are called piti. And then pasadhi, when you are happy, you become calm, okay, tranquilized. That effect comes to you. For example, when you practice meditation, anapanasati, let's say, like when you keep practicing anapanasati, your body becomes calm. And when your body becomes calm, it is totally unmoved, completely stable and unmoved and calm and peaceful. And then what happens? Your mind also becomes calm, right? When the body becomes calm, your mind also becomes calm. And that is why we call passaddhi, tranquility, bodily and mentally. And that way is really important for us to go to samadhi, concentration. So concentration can be jhanas and then attainments. And these are very powerful, in-depth, and very strong concentration. That really is not distracting us anymore. Today, especially, we do have a lot of distractions, right? People can't even um, focus on something even 1 minute. Uh, I see, like in the YouTube, for example, shorts, they say 5 seconds. first 5 seconds, if the video is not impressive, they just go away. They can't even focus on something. So a lot of people see long discussions like this. They see just within few second, maybe they run away. They can't really focus. And you can imagine, like, in order to focus on the Dhamma, you really need a very powerful, elongated, um, like concentration, samadhi power. That happens when you are physically and mentally calm, and also when you are happy. You see, and then only we can go to panya. Upekha is the last one. So upekha is whatever happens around, you do not get disturbed. Okay, whatever happens, upekha. Like tadi is a word applied to the liberated ones. The liberated one does not get distracted whenever he is sad or angry, or whenever he sees someone pass away or get sick, or whenever or I would say she also, like they lose something, physically, mentally, they don't get distracted. They know how to maintain their inner peace. That is what we call upekha. This is a very powerful stage. Again, very, very important. We need to. I know the maximum power of upekha is in an enlightened being. But having said that, you and I also have this. Our wonderful audience, they also have this. We need to, we need to be a little more, expand it a little more. The territory of our equanimity, we need to expand it. Like the parents, like the children, like the other friends, we need to expand our um, territory of equanimity. So I hope the seven factors of enlightenment are a little more clear now.
Yes, very clear actually. Thank you. That's, I think, a very good explanation of the seven factors. I'm sure a lot of us have heard what the seven factors of enlightenment are, but we never really got the chance to understand the significance behind it. So I think that's a very good benefit for our lives and for our spiritual journey in understanding the Dhamma. So thank you very much. So we have a couple of questions from JB, but I'm gonna go in the first one. He says, "Thank you for that, Bhante. Do you think that the instructions of another and Yoniso Manasikaro are necessary to attain the right?"
Um, Instruction from another, that could be instruction from a sutta, right? Why instructions can be very helpful? Because there can be people who have practiced more. There could be people who have more experience, and there could be people who have learned better. Probably their understanding also is very vivid, and that way their instructions can be helpful to us. But having said that, it's all up to you. Okay, no matter, like even the Buddha himself, even if he tries to help you and if you don't get it, you can't really attain. It's all totally up to you, yes. But some of these things, like those Kalyana Mittas, for example, how they can help us in many different ways. They as experienced teachers of the Dhamma, they might be able to help us better. Sometimes when we practice meditation, for example, we get a lot of questions. And when we go through the suttas, we get a lot of questions. And with the help of some of the instructors, some of the teachers, Dhamma teachers, we can understand it better. That is why we need their help. And then Yoniso Manasikara, as you rightly said, it is really, really important. Yoniso Manasikara is the constantly, um, you know, um, having yourself that powerful, constant alertness, the mindfulness, that should definitely be there when we want to attain right view, when we want to attain higher at stages of spiritual attainment. Every time we need to have that Yoniso Manasikaro. Very, very important. It really helps us. Sometimes you don't know, like you get angry and you might say something and you don't try to analyze what happened. And rather than that, if, like let's say like somebody yelled at you, and can you think, okay, I was blamed, I was, criticized by these people, even if I haven't done that thing, a lot of people can blame you, right? A lot of people can criticize you, gossip about you. Can you tell, can you find a way not to be so upset because of that? Instead, you can think, it is my own bad karma. And people blame me, people yell at me, people gossip about me because of my own bad karma. And I'm not going to actually, that way, I'm not going to generate any unwholesome karma. I'm also not getting down myself. I'm stronger. It's okay. It's my own unwholesome karma in the past. Okay. I know now. I get it. So I should be able to make sure that I'm not disturbed by that. Rather, I can maybe send loving kindness to that person. I previously remember I used to say, like, you need to have this trick when you are upset with someone or when you hear some wrong, negative feedback from someone. For example, if someone blames you or yells at you or say gossip about you, you can think it's okay. First step one, it's okay. It's okay mean it is that person's problem, not my problem, right? That person is the one who creates a bad karma, not me. And then second step is you look into yourself and see if I am okay. Have I been affected with that? Have I been poisoned with that? If you think you look into that, you have that Dhamma Vicaya, investigation into Dhamma, into yourself. This is how we apply the Dhamma in real life situations. So when someone blames at you, you look into yourself. Have I been hurt? Did I get hurt? My ego or whatever, did I get angry or did I say something or did I think of that person badly? So you have to think. If not, you can say, good, it's okay, I am okay. You can be very happy actually if you can do that. I'm telling you, if you continue to analyze this way, if you continue to apply the Dhamma in real life situations like this, you can make your life much more beautiful and peaceful and meaningful. You can be so much closer to the Samma Diṭṭhi. And eventually, one step forward, you need to go. You need to think of that person who was blaming you, who was hating you, disliking you, hurting you. May he be well, happy, healthy. May she be well, happy, healthy. May they be well, happy, healthy. That way, um, you can make your life much more comfortable. Okay, so like this is one way of having Yoniso Manasikara. How powerful we need to have that Yoniso Manasikara or Sati as a very trusted bodyguard. Okay, security guard. We really need it, and you need to hire that bodyguard. That person, that bodyguard will take care of you, and that bodyguard will alarm you every time you have something like that negative feeling, emotion. Whenever that happens, you will be well taken care of it, so you don't actually generate a bad karma. This is why we need to think of it seriously. We need to have that Yoniso Manasikara very seriously.
Thank you very much. I hope this answers your question, JV. He has a follow-up question to that. Yeah, he says, Bante, actually, a follow-up question to my first question. Do you think that someone can actually understand the Dhamma without first attaining the right view?
I think I already kind of answered that question. Right view is the key. It is the navigation. It is the beginning, opening. It opens the avenues, windows for us to, go forward. And if you don't know, like, just imagine, like, you want to go from, let's say, like Riverside to, um, let's say, like Long Beach, and you don't know the way, you are not familiar with that. And so, can you take the car and go right away? No. It will, you might probably go, you can, you know check, and you will take a lot of wrong exits. uh, you will go round and round, maybe asking people, try to find out, and it will be hard. But if you have the navigation, you know exactly the duration of time, you know which way to go, where to turn, left and right, you know it, right? So how beautiful when we have the navigation. It really helps us. Same thing right way. Even though we do practice the other, like sila, samadhi, all these things, we need to have right view. Otherwise, it might not be right sila. It might be wrong sila. Okay. Let's say, like, for example, people say, okay, concentration is very, very important. Yeah, concentration is very important. It's a really nice virtue. But can we say a powerful concentration of a scientist who is trying to develop a mass destructive weapon? Can you say it is right view? Can you say it is right sila, right concentration? No, it's not, because it can be disastrous not only to himself but also to many, right? So, like, you see now right view, the importance of right view. It is like the key. It is like the key. You can open the windows to lots and lots of spiritual avenue that way.
Thank you very much, Bante. Again, I hope this answers your question, JV. We have a question from Amrita. She says, "Thank you, Bante. Can you repeat the name of the sutra?" Um,
Um,
I think she,
she's talking about the Bojjhanga Suttas, right? So one Bojjhanga Sutta is Mahakasapathera Bojjhanga. Actually, I have chanted these Bojjhanga Suttas. You can probably find the chanting. Uh, Kasapathera Bojjhanga, Mahamoggallanathera Bojjhanga, and Mahachundathera Bojjhanga. These are the three Bojjhanga Suttas. I hope that was the. And for the Samma Diṭṭhi, Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, and then Satya Vibhanga Sutta, and then Samma Diṭṭhi Sutta, Majjhima Nikaya 9, Samma Diṭṭhi Sutta.
she also has another question. Bante, I've been indulging with some things that are distractors, too much work. How can be more disciplined and without repress myself?
You have a lot of distractions, too much work. Yeah, like you see how the Buddha explained in Karaniyametta Sutta. It's a very famous sutta, right? This discourse on loving kindness. In that sutta, Buddha talks about the qualifications. First part of the Karaniyametta Sutta, or the discourse of loving kindness, is the qualifications. What qualifications? what are the eligibilities for a metta or loving kindness practitioner. It is said, Sakko, Ujucha, Sujucha, Suocho, Chassa, Mudu Anatimani, Santusakocha, uh, what is it, the other one?
Supurocha.
Subharocha, Appakichocha, Sallahukauti. You see, these two words I want to say. Appakicha means if you are engaged with so many things and you don't have time to even breathe, you are super busy, then that's not a good idea. Okay? And excuse me. And then also Sallahukavati is you need to be light, you need to be simple. I think simple, that simplicity and that not being so complex in many things can make your life more comfortable and meaningful. And that person can actually focus better. If you have too much to do and then you might think too little time and then you get more stress. For example, I think Dulani also just finished your exams, right? So you can see how during that time you were overwhelmed with the studies and you get stressed. How to start? How there are so many books for me to read, and how can I actually finish this overwhelming workload? You get so much stress. At the end of the exam, you feel like you have thrown away such a heavy workload on your head. You feel so light after that. How does it happen? It happens when the exam is over. So when you have so much work, I would say you first need to organize yourself. You need to organize yourself. You need to have a list, short list of priority things that you have to do. You like during the exam days, you can do other things. Right? You have to get rid of social media and other things. So you have to be careful not to be engaged in. So you have to engage. You have to organize and see the priority. What is your priority? What should I do now? Or today, like daily basis, you can think, organize yourself, and you can give priority to the more important task. That way, I think, then you start one by one. Okay, get one book, finish it, and then you will feel much comfortable, much better. Oh, I finished that. Okay, that's important. And then go to the other book, finish it. You feel better. Oh, I did it. Appreciate yourself. I did it. Okay, and that way you feel comfortable and see the workload slowly getting away from you, and you feel you are you are improving, and you then appreciating and rewarding yourself. I could do it. I finished and I did it. So step by step you have to go. It doesn't happen just like that. It can be challenging, but if you are organized, you can do it. Even if there are lots and lots of work, you still can do it. Slowly, organize. Just do one by one at a time. And then you appreciate, I did it, you know, and you can eventually get rid of those distractions. And I'm sure um, Amaranta, right? Amaranta can also get rid of the distractions. Give priority to what you are supposed to do. And that itself is your discipline. There are so many things to distract us, and we need to give priority. You need to have the determination, adhitthana. You need to make effort, virya, and you also make sure, okay, this is not for me today. The movie is very interesting, but today I'm not interested because I have to get rid of that. A party is there, oh, very interesting, like lots of friends are there, but no, not today. Like little tasks, you can give priority. You can balance. You need to think. Okay, today is not the time for that. And same thing with all the distractions in your life. If you analyze it, you can slowly get rid of it, and you are more important in deciding what you are supposed to do. You are the one to do it. You can do it. Yeah. Give more authority to yourself and be confident. Self confidence is really important.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you very much for that. I think that can actually influence a lot of students who are going to university and a lot of people who are working as well in their jobs. There can be a lot of distractions that they're dealing with in their lives. So I think this can be a very good idea to prioritize yourself. And she thanks you for that. She says the Dhamma is very important.
Okay. Yeah, I can also see some people like Jane Pine and other people are also commenting, right?
Mm.
Thank you everyone for joining and hope this was helpful to you. All right.
So today we actually finished all our questions, so that's really good.
Yeah, so we did it. Appreciate. Reward yourself.
Yeah. So it seems that we're coming to the end of our session, unless anyone else has more questions. I think JD says, "Thank you, Bhante, very much for that talk. I have more questions, and we'll ask on another time." Sounds good. Okay. But first of all, before we end today's session, I would like to thank Bhante for your insightful and elaborate answers to all of our questions. We all deeply appreciate your valuable time to come on here and share your wisdom and knowledge with our friends from all over the globe. For our viewers watching, please make sure you're following on Dhamma USA socials, YouTube and Facebook to be updated with the latest notifications. Thank you once again for our viewers joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you every Friday at 6 p.m. PST for Diving into Dhamma live Q&A with Bhante Sumitta. And on behalf of the audience, may we ask Bhante to deliver some blessings for us.
Okay, thank you so much everyone for joining us today, and I wish you all the very best of luck. Long life and good health with the blessings of the Noble Triple Gem. May you always be safe and protected wherever you are. May you always be associated with wonderful Kalyana Mitra friends. May you be able to walk along the path. May you be able to generate Samma Diṭṭhi right view so that you can get rid of this samsaric suffering eventually. May all your family members, friends and relatives, teachers and elders also be blessed by the Noble Triple Gem. May all the departed ones of all of you also share this merit, receive this merit, be well, happy, healthy, safe wherever they are. May all of us, all of them, all sentient beings, including Devas, Brahmas, and also the sentient beings in the lower realms, be able to attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana at the end of our samsara. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. अभिवादन सीलिस नित्यं वद्धा पचाइनो चत्तारो धम्मा वर्धन्ति आयुर्वन्नो सुखं बलं आयुरारोग्य संपत्ति सर्ग संपत्तिमेव च अतो निब्बान संपत्ति इमिनाते समिज्जतु.
Thank you very much for the blessings, and we hope to see you all again next Friday for another Q&A session.